Yo, welcome rivals to the positioning guide that will leave no questions open, so let's jump right in. We are here on the Hall of Djalia, and on that map I will give you an example on how the positioning is from an attack point of view and from a defensive point of view. And the first thing that you should make sure when you are on offense, from the options that you have from the doors, you should be using this one right here. Of course not when it's like mined or whatever, but those two doors have a danger that a good Spider-Man could pull you off the map right here and you already have your first death. So your tanks, your healers, and one DPS should always go up here. You never want to take this long path over here, and your flanker will go over there through the health dot. If you go this way, first off, it's shorter to go back to lane, also if you die, but then you have this obstacle right here that you can peek and cover around to get control of this area. Once you have pushed the enemies off, you do not want to go into this long hallway because you have no ability to peek or whatever, and it's just going to be a nutrition battle. You do want to lead your team up here with pings, and then again you have this obstacle over here on which you can play around. Even if they start destroying it, it will keep a base which is good enough to hide behind it. And this will now open you the option to apply pressure from here. It will allow the option to get one more flanker going this direction. And the other flanker we were talking about, once he's coming from the spawn, he will go over here. And his goal is this hole over here. Because once you're here in safety, you will wait until your team is actually able to apply some pressure onto the point, and then you can go from here, and this off angle is amazing to pick off the supports. And once you're able to control this high ground right here and this high ground right here, the game is already won. Sorry to interrupt, but short self-promotion is needed. Currently, 91.2% of the people watching the videos are not subscribed to the channel. So let's make a deal. If you learn something new in this video, you have to subscribe. So once you have captured the first point, your respawn will also shift. You will now be respawning from this location, and you see it's right at an edge. So here again, you have to be really careful, Spider-Mans, that they don't just pull off your DPS that are like restocking to lane. To get your card out of this position properly, you now need to apply proper high ground control. The best high ground that you want to get is the one that I have right here. With this one, you can pressure the enemy all the way. So if you're playing around this, it's easily to get your card to that point. And once that is the case, there's two more high grounds that are important. And the first one is the staircase right here. Because as soon as the walls are destroyed here, this staircase is the perfect cover to peek around to control the whole rest of the area until the checkpoint. And the counterpart for your other flank is this structure up here. Because on top of here, as you can see, you can peek around just with the distance and going close and backward. And this also has multiple locations. And if you are controlling this high ground and the stairs, there's also nothing that is going to stop you right here. Once the card is about at the height of that bridge, you do want to come here into this balustrade, because this is a non-destructible structure and you have lots of peak potential and high current control here, and you can control their spawn point. So once you have reached this checkpoint, you will have to shift your focus to this area right here. Because up here, you do have this little room, and this room is the most important control point for the next step. Because if you control this, you will have access to one of their defensive spots right here, and access for a backdoor into their backline. So if you're able to hold this point properly, you will have no issues pushing all the way up until here. The rest of the map, this last push is a really tough one, because the spawn is right behind that statue. They can peek from every angle, yeah? So what you want to do is you want to keep your tanks and healers here, and you want to off angle the flanks on both sides. And if you do this and you keep pressure on them, you can keep them around this area, and it will make it really hard for them to go and touch the card. And if they touch the card, they are always usually out of the line of sight of their healers, and that is the benefits. Those 3 holds is essential to get your final push. Okay, yeah, and this is how you get your final victory on the Hall of Djalia if you're on offense. And now let's take a look at the defense. So if you are on defense, it's important that you have structure control. That means like the class right here you're going to destroy, and as soon as the game starts you will also destroy those walls right here, which gives you an easier way to defend that choke if they decide to go through. We already learned that that top hole is a good attack point. So basically that means if you're on defense, you want to make sure to have a control right here and to give less cover for if they try to go this straight attack. You want to try to destroy that bridge as fast as possible to prevent the people and have more awareness where the enemies are, and they cannot just sneak through here and give you an attack from a different angle. You also want to destroy this wall just for the extra vision. Meanwhile, one of your partners should have definitely already destroyed that bridge right here, because this is an easy way to flank and get like behind into your enemy's lines. So you want to get rid of that bridge as well. So let's say for the defense, once they got that angle right here, you can apply decent pressure, playing around this peak right here, keeping them here and getting some maintaining of the high ground here. You do want to get rid of those walls right here. So if they are trying to get control of this high ground, you can defend it off properly. And similar to offense, this high ground up here is also perfect for defense. So it is vice versa. Usually who has better control of those spots can push a lot easier. This bridge right here, you actually don't want to destroy on defense yet, because you can use it to get like a higher angle on the people. But on offense, they are going to aim to try to destroy that bridge. Once the enemies are getting close to the checkpoint right here, it is highly important for the defense that if you only play around this peak right here, they can go and touch the point. Yeah, you will need to have space. And one good pressure point is going up those stairs right here and applying pressure from the off angle right here. If you can apply enough pressure from here, they cannot touch the cards. Now that we say that they did manage to do it, you want to have full control, similar as the offense wants to have full control of this area. As long as you can control this area and they cannot go into this point that will give them all of those different angles and options, you are ahead. If they're still pushing through here, then you should always try via this path to get control back of this area. This is like all the way up until they're here. This is the main target which you want to fight about. You can also create really well off angles through this and to all the peaks that you have right here to apply more pressure. And this is like the perfect example of a 90-degree rule. When your team is coming from here, and from here, you have like all the angles. It's really hard to attack versus this. Now let's say you're doing the defense for this final push right here. This is actually one of the easiest defenses that you can do. Your spawn is really close by. You can easily use those pathways down here to create off angles. If you're able to control this hole right here, this hole right here, and this hole right here, you have enough pressure to prevent the push. But be aware, they are going to try to off angle you as well at the same points. Yeah, I hope this positioning guide for the Hall of Djalia was helpful for you. If you still have any questions, just let me know in the comments. As always, I will try to answer everything in less than 24 hours. Cheers and see you in the next one.